YouTube? Hey, sorry for long delay. I don't know. Just been kind of in a weird kind of, I don't know, like just haven't had too much to really talk about. And I mean, yeah, it's just been kind of not real exciting. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. I haven't felt like making too many videos. But my boy Tommy always checking in on me. Thanks, bro. You know, put a little Facebook post, you know, asking if I was still alive, you know, so I figured I would give a little update. So I've since moved, well, I mean, I'm still on the same friend's land. I mean, it was yard, I guess you'd really call it. It's maybe an acre or two, I don't know. Anyway, so where I was, I thought, I was thinking, okay, I'm the furthest away from his house, and it's in the corner where the dog shits. So, you know, I'm assuming that's the least desirable, you know, area of land. I mean, really, he doesn't care about really any of it, but I was just, you know, trying to be, you know, respectful or whatever. Well, that area of the land, I mean, if you saw him from when I did the video, when I walked around, like, it's wide open right there. And when there were just winds of like 15 miles an hour, or what it said on the Weather Channel, I mean, my whole tent was like caving in. There was one time I was talking with my girlfriend on the phone, and literally the wall of my tent touched me. Like, you can see, I mean, there's like a good, what we got? We got a good, like, you know, 5 feet between the wall or the front door and my tent, or my bed, my cot, and that fucking wall was on me. So that night I ripped off my tent fly, or my rain fly, you know, because that was like really what was catching a lot of wind. And I mean, it was still buckling in, you know, so then another night, or maybe it was the next night, I can't remember. This was the first round of winds that we were having. I come home from dinner, you know, a couple drinks over at my little place. And I come home to see the whole front end of my tent completely caved in, and fucking tent poles sticking up through the sleeve of my tent and the freaking and my rain fly. And that was, again, like, supposed to be just 15-mile-an-hour winds or something. But down in this valley where all the winds get funneled, you know, you get a little bit of the Venturi effect. It really, I mean, you can hear it coming down the road like fucking freight train. But anyway, so I've got, yeah, my tent pole, it's snapped. This orange tape it's kind of holding, and then you can see the patch. Well, I mean, it wasn't right there. I mean, I've re-put my tent fly on since then, so it's not in the same exact spot anymore. But, and then I got some clear, you can't even see on the outside. Anyway, it's a pretty lame patch. It was just something, well, because I had to patch the one part while it was freaking winding. Yeah, because I come home, you know, and it was kind of dark. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, 8 o'clock or something, 8:30. And yeah, and there's a tent pole freaking sticking up through my freaking tent, you know, snapped. And so I'm trying to fix that in the wind, and then luckily it wasn't going to rain that night, so I took my rain fly off and sat underneath the stars. That was kind of cool, because the whole top of my tent is just mesh. So yeah, when the rain fly is off, like, if it rains, I get fucking wet, which happened one time. Anyway. So yeah, so then I also moved here. We're going to go for a little walk here. I moved over behind, so the neighbors, so he has one neighbor, and they own, like, if you got his land sitting here, they own all the land around him, like up to the street. And they tried to buy it from him, and he named some, you know, really high price, and he's like, well, fuck you then. I'm gonna fucking stay right here. But anyway, so they've put up all kinds of privacy trees, and it makes for one hell of a freaking wind guard. So first you can see, like, down there where you can kind of see a little bit of a gray patch. That's where I was, or brown patch. That's where I had been, and it was just wide open out here. But anyway, yeah, so here's JD's kind of backyardish area, and yeah, it's not real pretty. So yeah, so these neighbors, the people, yeah, they got this barbed wire fence all the way around him, kind of. But yeah, they put up these nice big trees. So I'm snuggled in here behind his hodgepodge garage, which, as you can see, yeah, it's just like a bunch of bunch of sheds kind of built into a little work garage. And yeah, well, then also when I got over into this, I had never really been snooping around his yard or anything. So when I got over here, I realized, oh my God, he's got a little fucking fire pit. So I bust out my little grill thing and been doing some mac and cheese and oatmeal in the morning and mac and cheese at night. Because yeah, and the thing is, like, I have to go over to this little bar that I, eat and sometimes eat. Now I've been just, having a couple beers at, because that's where I found all of my work. All of the side jobs that me and my buddy Ed have been doing are all been attained from hanging out at this place. So yeah, this is kind of like, if I don't go over there, I don't find work. And I mean, actually, yeah, I can just get Coors Light. I've switched to Coors Light. I've always been drinking IPA for the past, I don't know, decade, but yeah, Coors ain't bad. I kind of like tapping the Rockies. You get that little blue mountain when it's nice and cold. But oh yeah, so yeah, here's the patchwork from the outside. I mean, this side is a lot better. I got that clear Gorilla Tape. That's what really held it on. Oh, but then yeah, so also that night when I took off my freaking tent fly, like when it was windy, all of a sudden obviously my tent got blown into the barbed wire fence, so there's all kinds of little hole patches, or I've had to put a little duct tape here and there. But yeah, so now I've just got a little campfire, and then I've been pooping in a bucket. Just dig up some dirt, and I got some toilet paper. Ed had actually tossed me a roll of toilet paper. I can get my own, obviously, but he had tossed me a roll the other day, and so I had that. I'm like, hey, he's got a fuck ton of buckets. I don't have to just dig random holes, and I mean, I can just keep digging one hole and covering it with dirt. And I was wanting to do a little Easter feast tonight, because the other day I had seen a couple of rabbits in the yard, and I was going to try to get one of those with my pellet gun. And yeah, I mean, it was late when I saw them the first time, so I'm like, I'm not going to do it now. I mean, it would take me time to clean it and get it all prepared, and I mean, it had been dark by the time I was even probably starting to cook it. But yeah, I was thinking about trying to do that today, because, Easter bunny, why not eat one? But yeah, I haven't seen them out yet today. My mom sent me a little little Easter gift. So I'm going to actually go to the restaurant tonight and maybe have some real full. We'll see what I don't know. I'm going to bring my pellet gun with me, because last time I saw them when I was driving into the land. So I'm going to bring my pellet gun. Well, I mean, I always bring my 40 cal. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to bring my pellet gun with me too. So when I come home, if I see them, there was a couple of them sitting out in the yard, might try to bag me one, cook one up for Easter. But yeah, so this is my newest humble abode, behind the Hodgepodge Garage at JD's. Yeah. So, all right, well, YouTube, catch y'all on the flip side, because I will survive the night.